All rise. The court of the new moon is now in session. The Honorable Judge Bruja presiding. You may be seated. Today's case on the docket, case number 001. Ruben versus the consequences of his own manifestation. The defendant, Ruben, stands accused of manifesting romantic attention from a woman who was already in a committed relationship. The charges include reckless intention setting, manifesting without reading the terms and conditions, and emotional trespassing. Testimony states that Ruben liked a girl who was not available, yet he visualized himself with her repeatedly. Suddenly, her relationship shifted, and not in a subtle way. Now the relationship is rocky, the ex-boyfriend is likely spiraling, and Ruben swears he didn't mean for it to actually happen. Your Honor, he's ready to face what he manifested.
Let me get this straight. There's no hydration station. But I made it very clear that I needed my Saratoga. Not sponsored. Right. Exactly. And no gavel. I specifically asked for the bling to be on the gavel by the 14th. And this is what you're telling me. And what is with this courtroom? Where's the moon at? I mean, can I get a neon moon? Can I get something? It's called Court of the New. Oh my God. Okay. You know what, Luis? This is not your fault. We're both new at this. Let's just wing it. Let's just see how this goes. We got it.
Bonjour, new moons. I am Judge Josie, and you're aligned with the frequency of the Court of the New Moon. And you may be seated. Okay, Ruben, what have you brought to my courtroom? Let's see. It says here, Dear Judge Josie, please have mercy on me. I already know that I am walking into your courtroom and I am cooked. And honestly, I deserve whatever is coming to me. I am writing to you because I need to confess what went wrong and what happened. So last year, I met my girlfriend, I'm going to call her Gina, at my cousin's birthday party. I swear to you, Judge, it was just one conversation, one magical night, and a few silly moments. And the next thing you know, I was in my bedroom that night whispering affirmations. Here is one that I kept saying over and over again. Gina is my girlfriend and loves only me. Now, Judge, brace yourself, guys. She has a boyfriend. I knew that she had a boyfriend from immediately. I did ask. I was upfront, and she was as well. I'll admit that I even considered doing a full-on love spell because this is how much I liked Gina when I met her. I know that you're going to roast me, and I kept on doing these affirmations because I'm sorry. Sorry, you're a little all over the place, Ruben. I kept doing these affirmations every day because I knew what I wanted. Okay. Here's the thing. It worked too well. Out of nowhere, she did break up with her boyfriend, and I'm certain that even to this day that he is walking around confused and probably wondering what happened because from what I know, everything between them was just fine. Wow, Ruben, you are messy. Oh, not you brought all this mess to my courtroom. The part that eats me up the most is that I have never meant to hurt anybody. And the worst part, Ruben, we haven't gotten to the worst part? Okay. Everybody brace yourself, because we haven't gotten to the worst part yet. The worst part is that I manifested exactly what my ego wanted, but not what my heart needed. Well said. Now that we are together, we are just not compatible at all. We argue a lot. The chemistry is off. The communication has been way off lately. She is a sweet person, but she's not the one. I don't know who I thought I was by trying to cosplay a witch. Ooh. I should have listened to your warnings about what happens when you manifest from your ego. I should have known that whenever you're calling in something that doesn't belong to you, the universe will keep trying to send you red flags. I'm ashamed that I ignored all of them. I do want to break up with her. Oh, Ruben. Okay. And however, I am taking responsibility for the energetic mess that I have created. I need to focus on my own self-love issues and figure out why I wanted validation so badly and why I tried to script somebody else's heart. That is well said. Well said. Judge Josie, I am throwing myself at the mercy of the court of the new moon. Please guide me. Whatever it is that you sent me to, drag me, whatever. I am ready. I think I'm nervous, respectfully and nervously, Ruben. Okay. Said nervously twice there, Ruben. So you're serious. Okay. Give me a second, Ruben. Let me go to my chambers really quickly because I need to think on this one. One moment. Ruben, stand before the court. Okay. I want you to know that I know that you're not here because you're an evil person. You're not. You're not evil. You're not a bad person. And I do want you, before I even get to my ruling, to know that it's important that we acknowledge our mistakes, which is what you're doing, and you're trying to rectify them. You're here because you were reckless with your words. You were careless with your intentions. You did not think about consent, and you attempted to manifest from a wounded ego instead of actually healing. Manifestation is not about the control of anybody else outside of ourselves. It is about alignment, always about alignment. The moment that you began affirming ownership over another person, for instance, Gina is my girlfriend and loves only me, your words, not mine, you crossed from intention into interference. And the universe, like you said, kept trying to send you red flags. So even without any kind of formal spell work that you say that you didn't do, repetition is spell work. That is magic. Okay? Your words shape your reality because words are spells. You know this. You know this because you are actually somebody who has mentioned that you have been listening to my show for a long time. So I'm not going to allow you to claim ignorance here. Now, you might think that I'm about to be really rough on you and really hard on you, but I'm actually not. Because Gina does play a part in this as well. She's not the one in my courtroom, though. So I just want to say that I do want you to give yourself a little bit of grace, but I do mean a little bit. And understand that she did go willingly. And that now you see that when it comes to magic, why I ask you to be careful of your words. As for love spells, I've said it before. I will say it again. I know I haven't said this in a while. First of all, they're desperate. And I'm not calling you desperate, Ruben. I'm saying that I think love spells are desperate when they are done without consent. Okay? I don't advise anybody who does not know what they are doing to try to override somebody else's free will. I don't advise that either way. Consent is important. When you bypass anybody else's choice, you're silencing that other person's agency, and that will never stand in my courtroom. Okay? So, the reason why it backfired has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself, but also how she feels about herself. This was doomed from the beginning. This was not a good match from the beginning. And when you say the universe sent you many red flags and tried to warn you, they were trying to tell you to get out of this. Okay. Now, what you're not going to do is ask some witch to reverse whatever it is that you did. Nope. You're going to let this play out. And so the court also wants to recognize any harm that may have been done to Gina's now ex. Sudden energetic interference, it can leave somebody with this kind of, I guess, emotional debris is the best way that I can put it. There is a grief over when you break up with somebody. And so I do want you to consider all of that. Okay. So I know that the harm was unintended, but I appreciate that you are taking some accountability. And so my verdict is as follows. I do find you guilty of manifesting from ego instead of healing. All right. Now I don't have a gavel today, Ruben, so you lucked out. You are not guilty of malice, but you are guilty of avoidance of self. Keyword is self. You try to manifest love instead of addressing why you didn't believe you were worthy when you are so very worthy. You think that I just say that just because it sounds cute? I honestly no, because look at how many negative podcasts there are out in the world. If I wanted just numbers, then I would just say things that are outrageous. But because I'm actually trying to help here, just know that anything that I'm telling you, yes, this is supposed to be fun, but realistically, it is also meant for you to learn. Okay? Learn something from this, in the words of Tyra Banks. All right? Don't try to force the universe's hand ever. I hereby sentence you to one full year of intentional self-esteem reconstruction. And that begins today. At the time of this recording, the time that the new moons will hear this would be January the 14th of 2026. Therefore, this goes all the way until January the 14th of 2027. Okay. This is not a punishment. This is your rehabilitation. For the next 12 months, you are prohibited from trying to manifest anybody else. Performing any kind of a love spell performing any sort of a love spell that's not on yourself. Okay. Affirming ownership over another person's emotions or actions or them in general. Instead, you will complete the following sentence requirements. You will shift all manifestation language from who you want versus who you are becoming. So the focus will only be on self. No other names, no other faces, and no other fixations. Got it? For instance, I am chosen because I choose me. I'm emotionally safe. I'm grounded. I'm secure in who I am. Get it? Got it? Got it. Okay. And so once a week, I also want you to do the following. There needs to be some kind of a practice for you. I want you to ask yourself the following questions, and I need you to go ahead and write these down. I don't see you writing. Yeah. Hurry up. Is there gum? What did I say about gum in my courtroom? I know I didn't just hear gum. Okay. I'm just making sure. And cut your phones off. I want you to ask yourself the following, Ruben. Oh, one moment. The judge is getting a call. Apologies, Ruben. So, as I was saying, yes, my phone can be on. It's my courtroom. What am I trying to prove? That's the first question. What am I trying to prove? And second question, who am I trying to prove it to? Third question, what am I trying to replace? Okay. And last question, what wound am I trying to bypass? Okay. Write it down. Sit with this discomfort. And do not try to spiritualize or nonsense or manipulate your way out of this. Okay? All right. What you're also going to do, because I have this feeling that you're doing it, no monitoring of her social media account or his. When you take the responsibility and you end this relationship, like you mentioned, if she decides she never wants to speak to you again, that is fine. I do advise that you be honest with her. Okay. And I want you to follow up with me. I want to know how it's going for you, how your year is going. I want you to build worth through your actions. Your actions need to be focused. And when I say focusing on you, I do not mean in a narcissistic way. I mean in a way that causes your growth. Okay. Find a creative outlet, physical movement, therapy, coaching. You can come to me if you need to book another reading. Yes, Ruben is a tarot client of mine as well. So if we need to do that, we can. So with all of that being said, Ruben, I know that you feel that you have betrayed the universe, but the universe was simply trying to respond in the way that it does. It only responds to energy. You didn't betray the universe. You betrayed yourself. Let this be the last time that you are in my courtroom because you tried to manifest something from your ego. In a year, I think that there will be an immense amount of growth from you. Okay. This also needs to be the last time that you attempt to be chosen before you choose you. All right. All right, new moons, court is adjourned. We got that, new moons, for aligning with the frequency of the court of the new moon. If you would like to submit a case to Court of the New Moon, go to courtofthenewmoon.com. Court of the New Moon airs twice a month on Wednesdays. If you would like to find out more information about Lua Nova and the Lua Nova podcast and brand, go to luanovapodcast.net. And I will see you next time in my courtroom. Again, what did I say? No phones. All right, new moons. I hope this was fun for you, but I hope you also learned something from this. In the words of Tyra Banks. Ciao, ciao.
Court of the New Moon is an entertainment podcast produced by the Lua Nova team. The stories and cases featured on this show are based on submissions from real listeners. However, they are not legal cases, and the proceedings you hear are purely for entertainment purposes. Judge Bruja, also known as Josie, is not an attorney, judge, or licensed legal professional. The content presented in this program should not be interpreted as legal advice or guidance. The Lua Nova team does not accept or review actual legal matters. Any listener with a genuine legal concern should consult a qualified attorney or legal representative. By submitting a case to Court of the New Moon, you acknowledge and consent to having your story, in whole or in part, featured or dramatized on the show. All names and details may be edited for clarity, privacy, or creative presentation. The verdicts and sentences delivered by Judge Bruja are part of the show's storytelling and are meant solely for entertainment, creative expression, and spiritual reflection. To submit your own case to the court, visit courtofthenewmoon.com. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025, Lua Nova.
New Moons, we're going to call this like a brief after show for the first episode of Court of the New Moon, because this was a lot of fun. I am going to be getting a gavel. I do want you to learn something when it comes to what it is that these cases present and the point of them. I am not a real judge. I'm not going to say that forever, but it is just fun to play one. And yes, Ruben is an actual listener of the show and has been for some time now. I hope that you have fun with this. I hope that you don't take anything that I say to heart, as far as, just know that it's coming from a good place. That even though this is fun, this is meant to be fun, and it is messy. It's a little messy. It's not meant to be harmful in any way, shape, or form. Okay? And Ruben saying, essentially he wanted me to give him a tough sentence. That's why I did. Now, I'm not gonna be that tough on everybody. Well, I might be. I'm me, so maybe I will be. But I don't think that I was that hard on Ruben. There are going to, over time, be changes to Court of the New Moon and updates, things like that. So just like Lua Nova or any other podcast, it's going to grow. It's going to keep growing. Just bear with me. I hope that you still had some fun with this. And I'm going to pretty much just leave this here. And I am probably going to do a regular outro. You know how I have a show insert that you hear at the end of every single episode of Lua Nova? I'm probably going to do something like that, so where people can... Well, who is yelling? Did I just hear somebody yelling? That's my sign to wrap it up. But yeah, something that, I can just insert either at the beginning or the end of every single show outside of the bailiff. And for people who are new to Lua Nova and Court of the New Moon, I do use a particular software that is essentially taking things that I say and kind of like a voiceover. And you have heard these especially on the radio, and I hear them a lot in car commercials, things like that. At the end, when that voice goes by really quickly, I'm using the exact same software. So I am going to gatekeep, but for those of you that were wondering, no, those are not actual people. That is me. Likely that you are hearing, and I am just using different voices, etc. But there you go. I'll talk to you soon, New Moons. Ciao, ciao. I know I said ciao. I'm saying it again. Ciao, ciao.
This has been a Lua Nova production. May what you ask for be aligned, and may what arrives be for your highest good. And so it is. Esto ha sido una producción de Lua Nova. Que lo que pidas esté alineado, y que lo que llegue sea para tu bien. Y así será.